The Curtiss 1, the ultimate light electric vehicle, the ultimate motorcycle, a machine born of a legacy. All roads lead to Rome. All choices, methods and actions ultimately lead to the same goal. 30 years ago, Matt Chambers formed Confederate to fix and transform the American motorcycle, to elevate an icon to a standard never seen before. Confederate created a series of machines that took the American V-twin to its ultimate pinnacle. These machines were fast, furious and brutal, but they were hand-built to perfection by skilled artisans, using the finest components and materials available, one by one, to order. Confederate became synonymous with no compromise in its pursuit to make the very best.
We'd like to play with the words of Hunter Thompson, who said that it's better to be shot out of a cannon than squeezed from a tube. That's something we've always strived for, is a very explosive form of power.
This thing is called a Hellcat for a reason, right? I mean, meow!
The Hellcat X132 is just the latest Ayn Randian example of Confederate's push to redefine American motorcycle design.
What we see here is a completely machine billet case. This is the heart of the bike here. This is where the bike starts. You can see this comes out of a huge block of aluminum.
The better to hold this bike's enormous 132 cubic inch air-cooled, fuel-injected S&S V-twin that cranks a matching 132 horsepower. This bike isn't about flat-out speed but torque, which is an impressive 150 pounds. The X132 rides like the overbuilt beast that it is. It's brutish and burly and in need of a little training, but sure is a pretty putty cat.
This is a Wraith P120. This has been stripped to the extreme. You don't have a fuel tank, oil is in the backbone. You just have a seat on there because you actually have to sit on something.
There's nothing from 0 to 100 that can keep up with this bike. Never had anyone close. Not close.
The shapely Wraith reaches a top speed of 185 miles per hour, laying waste to a quarter mile in just 10.75 seconds. At 390 pounds, it packs a 120 cubic inch V-twin, turning out 125 horsepower. It's official. In 2008, the Wraith traveled to the legendary Bonneville Salt Flats in Utah, where some of the world's fastest vehicles come to test their extraordinary speed. This unlikely-looking bike shattered the world record for a bike in its class by an astounding 25 miles per hour, recording an official speed of 166.5 miles per hour. The Wraith tears up the track with a better torque-to-weight ratio than a Porsche 911, which produces an almost overwhelming surge of acceleration.
This amount of torque with a weight that's under 400 pounds creates a riding experience that you really have to feel to believe.
Even celebrities are seduced by this superstar of a motorcycle. Bike-crazy Jay Leno just had to take a closer look after spotting a super rare Wraith near his home.
Cranking 160 horsepower from its 120 cubic inch radial twin, Confederate Motors' latest not only guns it and runs it, it blazes a distinct and stylized path in American motorcycling. This is the black flag version of the P120 Fighter, and clearly it doesn't look like anything else out there on the road.
The P120 Fighter has a hot rod-esque 63-inch wheelbase and a 240-millimeter balloon for a back tire. There's a level of menace to the P120 Fighter. The transmission drive belt is exposed and could very well have chewed off my boot if the pegs weren't placed properly.
Confederate took the V-twin ICE motorcycle as far as it could be taken. Matt came to the realization that a new dawn had arrived, ushering in a more refined and sublime age of motoring, electrification. Decades of continued practice of perfecting the art and science of creating the world's finest motorcycles has enabled Curtiss to create a future-defining masterpiece, the Curtiss 1, the first true luxury motorcycle. Sublime fidelity, a motorcycling experience defined by the standards set 30 years ago. All roads lead to Rome.